Hi everyone, Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello. How's you going there, eh? Thanks a lot for shooting in, joining a fella here for another video, another boots on the ground. There's Calgary, there's the Saddle Dome. This is the rodeo grounds, Stampede grounds. Get the beautiful Canadian Rockies there in the background. Very nice day today. A little windy, but it's a warm sunny day. I think it's about 15 Celsius here today. And I'm on the top of Scotsman Hill in Ramsay. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a Mudflood walkabout tour of some of the older buildings here in Ramsay. Got cousin Vinnie here with me today. And yeah, we're going to check things out and see what's what, so stick around. Be right back.
About a heaven in Alberta, where they've got all hell for a basement.
Alright, so we are back, and here we are, and this is first on the list. Look at this beauty. With that turret on top there, the beautiful roof line on this thing. Lots of angles. This would not have been an easy build, this old world brick. Not a lot of sandstone on it, but there's a little bit of sandstone on the tops of these wrought iron fence supports. It's funny, a lot of these old world houses have like an outdoor fireplace or an outdoor oven or something like that. I've seen that a lot, which is, I wonder why we don't do that anymore, you know? But, leaded stained glass in the windows on this thing. A little bit of the old tech left up on top there as well. And just a huge piece of property as well. Big, huge corner lot. So back in the day, this thing would have been like an old estate home, you know. And that's the view that they would have. It's just over the city and over the valley. The Elbow River's just down at the bottom of this huge hill here. Not many of these left, though, on Scotsman Hill, unfortunately. There's a few, but not tons. Let's take a quick walk around this thing and see what we can see. You'll have to excuse the wind. As mentioned, a beautiful day today, but it's kind of windy. It doesn't help being up on the hill either, but I'll try to eliminate the glare, but looks like they still have their coach house there as well, or garage now, I guess you would call it, but just tons of beautiful brick. There's a pretty low window there. Looks to me like that's shooting down into the ground a bit right there. But no shortage of this beautiful leaded glass. Wooden shingles on the roof. So you know it's well looked after if they can maintain the wooden shingle roof on this thing. Just a beautiful place. Even just the fence around it that surrounds the property is just quite lovely, you know. I'm not going to spend too much time individually on a lot of these houses unless it's super exceptional like this, because there's definitely a lot to see here in Ramsay. Going to be looking at a lot of estate homes and large properties like this, as well as oh, who knows? I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Guy doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag here. Well, we'll see what we see. But I'm going to quickly take a whip down the alley and just to see if I can capture anything from the backside of this. So hang tough, be right back. Well, with all these huge pine trees and evergreens, it's tough to get a good look at this thing. But you can see here there's a whole row of windows going down the side of this thing. But it's just a gorgeous place. Big sandstone cappers on these brick pillars. And just a beautiful place. Just something that you just don't see that much here anymore in the city. Every once in a while you'll come across an older neighborhood that has stuff like this, but they're getting fewer and further between, if you will. So I'm glad I'm able to get out here and share it with all of you. Now I doubt something like this would ever disappear anytime soon, but you never know. Anyway, we're going to move along to the next couple of places here and see what we can find. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so we've just progressed a few blocks here from some of those old houses we're looking at. Found another beautiful 2-story red brick house with this gorgeous bay window effect running right down both floors, upper floor and main floor. I'm seeing above and below the windows what appears to be concrete to me rather than sandstone. However, that could very well be sandstone that has been covered in a thin set concrete or schmutz just to help slow down that erosion process that we see so often with sandstone. But it's up on a bit of a rise here off the sidewalk. It's about 2 feet-ish. It's just a beautiful red brick house. Got your little bijou balcony above your main entrance there. Just a lovely old place. So yeah, hang tough. We'll be back in just a second here. All right, so Phila's progressed a few more blocks here, and I found another beauty. This one's kind of up on a higher ground as well, with a retaining wall, actually a multi-stepped retaining wall. But what a beautiful old house there with that portal window, the turret, the conical dome roof on the top there, and of course that beautiful architectural design along the eaves there. Really wonderfully looked after, very well loved place. This whole neighborhood is just a real treat to share with all of you. I hope you're enjoying this, because that place and a few others we're going to look at here are pretty incredible. In fact, directly over my right shoulder is an old grocery store, mercantile, dry goods store, or something like. I don't know. We're going to have a look at it right now. I'm just going to kind of let the camera roll here, and boom, this is the place that we're going to be looking at. It's a little 2-story brick place, and I think it's still an operating like little community grocery store or convenience store. Obviously, whoever owned and ran the store built their little house and attached it onto the back of this thing, I'm guessing. It's kind of a cute little shaker style home. But this place is incredible. Beautiful 2-tone brick on that. You can see how the ground kind of slopes downward a bit, and the more it slopes down, the more of that brick it reveals. But this is your entrance to get upstairs to the top floor, where there's, I'm assuming, suites or apartments up there. Transom window above that door. Kind of a cute little awning there too, which I'm assuming is a more modern afterthought. But and as we get around to the front here, oh, we've got another sidewalk stamp here. What does this one say? Municipal Historic Resource, 9th Street Southeast. Green ash, planted in 1929. I guess that's these, green ash. I don't know, I'm not an arborist, but sure, okay. Green ash it is. Still dormant, because it's not even May here yet, so that crow's having a good time. But yeah, here we go. Hardware block, 1916. So yeah, okay, it was a hardware store. It's now residences. Like, this is now somebody lives, and this is the entrance to their suite. And that, I'm thinking, is another entrance to get up to the 2nd floor again, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe a lower floor? But yeah, you've got your entrance on the corner. I love that. I don't know why I do. I just do. I just think it's real practical, I guess, if you're entering off of the street side or the avenue side. You can just walk right in, I guess. Yeah, really neat old building. You got to go up 3 steps to get into this entrance. But again, that's a private residence, so I'm not going to stick the camera in there. But I don't know if this is access to go down or up. That side door we looked at goes up, but probably, yeah, it is. That's brick underneath. It's schmutz. So again, you got your fake foundation with the newer, slightly a little more modern textured brick here. And yeah, underneath here where it's broken away from the schmutz. Hey, look, some kind of weird bug. Don't bite me. Right there. Brick poking out of there. That guy's dog's having the time of his life. Cocker Spaniel. Got a stick. There you go. Oh, the life of a dog, right? That's all you need to be happy is a stick. So again, you know, some modern touches with fire escapes and so on. But I'm seeing some hankiness here. Don't want to trespass on these people's driveway or property, but yeah, definitely something unusual there. I'm thinking that well, it's weird because I'm thinking that it used to be a window and they've punched it in to make a door, but no, it's a different height. But then they've boarded up a window right next to that door. It's very odd. But yeah, an old hardware store now converted to a residence here. The Hardware Block, 1916. And again, right on the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue Southeast here in Ramsay. Really neat old building. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Another beautiful old place here. Been fixed up a little bit with some more modern siding on it, but it's basically kitty corner from that little hardware place. Up on a little bit of a rise, the retaining wall. And it looks like their old barn that still has the hoist for up in the hayloft is either converted to a garage or maybe a garage with a guest suite above it or something. But this place is well loved. Beautiful old place. Really, really nice. You've even got some kind of fruit tree there in the front yard. Really nice. And there's a couple more down here. Vinnie's pointed out this brick one here with the arched windows on it coming up. Gonna get in front of that one and have a closer look as well, so be right back. Yep, so here's that other one that Vinnie spotted. Arched windows up there. Arched doorway. Same thing on the main floor here. They've got a sandstone threshold or step up into their main door. That's really cool. I've seen that only a handful of times here. Very often sandstone above, but as their threshold step, beautiful. And then on the side there, it's some cute little arched windows as well. Yeah, really nice old place. All right, gonna head further on down the road. There's some stuff down on the other side to have a look at. So 1 second, be right back. All right, just moved up a block here now. 17th Avenue and 10th Street Southeast. This old brick again, that entrance on the corner. Obviously used to be some kind of, I don't know, a grocery store, a hardware store, something.
It's like they had the schmutz on the bottom that they took it off.
Yeah, good point. It looks like, yeah, they had the fake foundation here and they've removed it to expose the original brick, but you can still see some of the remnants of whatever they had smeared over it, concrete, schmutz, or whatever. This looks like it could have maybe been an old coal, like a coal access, coal chute door, or maybe even milk delivery, although I don't think milk delivery door would be that low. They're usually up high beside a door. But yeah, probably the old coal chute there that got bricked in. Again, a little bit of damage there, but looks like they were Johnny on the spot with repairing it lickety-split so it didn't get out of control. Private residence, but this guy's left his key in the lock. That's probably not a good idea. I think after I film this, I'm going to knock on the door and let them know. And then they've got sort of a courtyard area here. Dog in there, okay. Arched windows there as well. Some of the old knob and tube tech there on the side. Good boy. It's a good dog. Good dog. Yeah, it's... I don't mind being barked at by dogs because they're doing their job, keeping an eye on the place. Here's a good boy. Okay, I'm just going to pause this for a second. Let this person know their keys are in the lock here. 1 second. All right, well, no answer at that door, so I guess they weren't home. So take a chance, but there it is. And let's finish having a look at this beauty here. That's a weird door because there's no way to get in there. There's no steps. They've got bushes growing in front of that. That's unusual. Okay, so now I can see a little bit of the foundation now coming underneath, but it's quite far down from up at the top of the street here at the main entrance there. So this has come down about a foot and a half before it finally reveals the, what I'm thinking is the, looks pretty legit foundation to me. And too much shrubbery, can't really see much on the backside, so. But yeah, really beautiful place. All right, move on to the next one. Just down the hill here, 1 second. All right, this place is really interesting, really unique. It's formerly the co-op feed service. Farmers could get seed and feed and so on and so forth. It's now condos. As you can see here, I'm sorry about the glare, but mixing, grinding, pelleting of custom feed and seed. It's you can see it slopes quite severely there, and hey, look, there's still ice on the ground. Let me just see if I can get around to the front of this thing here. Gonna get some traffic noise. Apologize in advance. This is a very major thoroughfare coming from Inglewood here into Ramsay. On filming this, it's a Sunday too, so a lot more traffic. But yeah, sort of corrugated metal sheeting, really big, huge windows. A couple of really low windows here that look like they're shooting down into the ground. And then you got some businesses here along what used to be the old loading dock. Hair salons and that sort of thing. But yeah, the floor plans, so each one of these apparently is very unique. Some have like little balconies, some don't. Some have rooftop terrace access, some don't. I remember when I used to live just over in Inglewood, just over to the other side of the tracks there, this place always fascinated me. Because I thought, what a good creative idea of converting an old building. You know, obviously farmers aren't coming here for their feed anymore, but rather than knock it down, they just update it and add in some modern conveniences and make it into a residence. So I always thought that was pretty cool. This is attached, but I think it's at one time was separate. This little brick building. I don't know originally what its purpose was, but it's now sort of integrated into this feed building complex, or complex of buildings. So I don't know what original purpose that little place served, but yeah, they've added some parking garages and everything here, so yeah, really interesting. The old co-op feed service building, now condos. Just whip back around onto the main road and move on to the next one. So yep, be back in just a moment. Alright, so just moved a couple of blocks south now. I'm on 19th Avenue and 9th Street, southeast here now, still in Ramsay. Looking at the old Alberta corner store, dry goods and groceries, and it's still open. This place has been in operation since the late teens, if I'm not mistaken. And still going strong. Now they have blocked in and covered over with schmutz or stucco windows here on the main floor. That's to facilitate shelving and so on the inside. But yeah, it's still like a convenience store, grocery store. I think they even rent DVD movies in there. You can still rent movies and stuff in there. So it's kind of a neat little neighborhood community convenience store. Just gonna jaywalk across here as I'm rolling, so you can get a good idea of this place. As long as I don't get hit by this little bus that's going by. But yeah, what a neat little place. Suites above, arched windows, and looks like maybe two separate buildings. These windows are rectangular, these ones are arched. So I don't know if it was two structures built at separate times that they, adjoined upon constructing, the newer version, or I don't know what. But I noticed here too, I'm going to run across so we can have a closer look, but some of the yellowish stucco's fallen off, and you can see brick underneath there. And the brick looks white, so I don't know if at one time this was exposed brick that was painted white, or if it's white primer, and then they put this schmutz over it. I'm not sure. We're going to walk back across the street here as soon as these cars go by. We can have a closer look. Yeah, just a really neat old place. I can remember, again, when I lived in Englewood, which is just the next neighborhood over. Sometimes I would come down here, on my day off on a nice summer afternoon, grab a coffee, and just kind of walk around this neighborhood. So you can see the exposed red brick here on this side of the building. The remnants of the old sign, everything in groceries. Looks like it says something Alberta, the Alberta Corner Store. Perhaps that's what it was always called. It was the Alberta Corner Store. Yeah, they would have had their old sign painted on the side of the building, of course. Let's see if we can see anything here. Not really. I'm not seeing any bricked in or mud flooded in windows. In fact, I think I see a legit original foundation there. Addition built on there. Let's have a look at where that stucco's fallen away. Oh, you can even see in the window opening there, you can see the brick there as well. Yeah, it was red and it was painted white. Yeah, there you can see it all inside there. And then there's that spot that Cousin Vinnie noticed. Yeah, inside. I see they rent movies, convenience store, food store. So at one time, this would have been the grocery store that serviced this whole neighborhood. Further down, you had the hardware store, and here you had a nice little grocery store. It's just too bad that the original windows here on this floor are all long boxed in, boarded in, and filled up. Something funny going on with this addition. Like wood with schmutz. So maybe this jut out addition on the back is wood. It looks to me like the main floor is the store, and upstairs are suites or apartments, which is not unusual. I still have a big backyard too, so looks like there may have been something else attached to this at one point. Or maybe that was just an old overhang, or maybe an old staircase that they removed or replaced. You can see where the joists were in there at one point. This might have been a door, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Looks like about the size of a door. But don't have to go much further to check out this next place. Boom! The Beers House, 1908. Because, in Canada, the plural for beer is beers. Let's go grab some beers, eh? But that legit looks like, what you would see in a Clint Eastwood movie, in the Wild West town. Some guy riding in a dusty old town, where you have that sort of big square frontage, but really it's just a facade. and that it's just a regular sort of pitched roof in behind that. But yeah, this place is crazy looking. So I don't know what it used to be, but it's private residence now. Maybe at one point it was a saloon, a tavern. This would have maybe at one time been the neighborhood saloon or neighborhood tavern for Ramsay, you know.
There's some guy with a funny name.
Or yeah, or some guy with the last name Beers. I don't know. Red chimney there. With this sort of strange jut out bay window. But then you've got all this built out. Like that's built out about 2 feet and it's about 1.5 feet high. So I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, it's definitely a private residence now. They got a little balcony back here or a deck and a nice backyard with a garden. Barbecue and everything. Huh.
Get the chimney.
This whole neighborhood, if you just look at all the rooftops, they all have these old brick chimneys. Once in a while you see a weird aluminum pipe chimney, but most of them are the brick chimneys. Sometimes you see them like that, right? But those might be just new conversions where they've yanked out the old fireplace, knocked down the old brick chimney, and they've put in a natural gas furnace. So they've just put in a more modern chimney, maybe? I don't know. But I'm guessing the 1908 date on that is when this building is assumed to have been built. Which, I guess, sure, I could buy it. I mean, it generally goes along with the official story of most of the buildings in this area. This land, much like a lot of the land around the railroad tracks here in Calgary, was one time owned by CP Rail. And then once the railroad came through and Calgary started to boom, CP sold the land off because they have a land development part of CP Rail as a company. So they would have just divvied up the land into these plots and sold the land off, and people would have built houses or hired a builder to build their home for them. Yeah, really neat. Wooden siding and schmutz on that side. That's a really cool looking place. The Beers House, 1908. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, so I'm basically just a few doors down from that Alberta food store. And here we are at McKay Lodge. I don't think it's a lodge. I think it's just a fancy name for a really nice big red brick house. So let's walk across the street and have a look at this. Really quite large. Covered porch. I don't think that porch originally would have been an enclosed porch like that. But
I think I knew somebody that lived here. There was 3 or 4 suites inside.
like a main floor, upper floor, and maybe like a back.
Yeah, I knew
back
somebody
suite.
that lived in this brick second floor,
This-
and I think there was a steep staircase to get up to that top.
To that dormer there.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the same place.
See, normally I would say, ooh, look at these really low mudflood windows, but these are actually windows that actually just go underneath their porch or deck that they've made into a covered deck. So underneath this deck is probably just storage, but I bet you there's another window in behind this window, like on the main body of the house. You know what I mean? Pretty big. I mean, they did build an addition onto the back of it there. You can see, I think that's probably concrete above those windows. Although it could be sandstone with concrete smeared over it. But I'm seeing them above all the windows, but then there's that huge modern addition on there. So yeah, I'm not surprised that there's at least 3 suites in here. Really neat looking place though. Huge place. Lots of dormers. That chimney. McKay Lodge. Alright, so back up on the top of Scotsman Hill here, just on the edge of Ramsay, overlooking downtown and the Elbow River there and the rodeo grounds. So that is going to seal the deal here today for Frankie and Cousin Vinnie. And what's turned out to be a nice little mudflood walkabout. There he is. Nice little mudflood walkabout in Ramsay. So as always, thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with me here. Let me know, as usual, what you think down below. Of course, do all the other stuff. And until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right? Cheers.